Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. Lots of things going on in the world, lots of weather, lots of crazy things. So I really hope that you're doing well in your part of the world. I know that I get viewers from all over. So I'm always wishing the best for everyone in terms of where they are in the world with them and their families. So it's Thursday. We made it to Thursday. Hope that your week is going well. I know that many of you are going back to school or starting new jobs, or maybe just studying, or just being in your current job, right? So feels like it's a time of change in a lot of parts of the world. So thank you so much for being here. A little bit of a different day yesterday. I had actually two streams yesterday. I had a later stream in the day because I crossed 10,000 people on YouTube. So we had a little bit of a watch party where we watched the numbers go up and turn over to 10,000. So obviously a very special moment for me. And I wanted to start by thanking all of you, because none of that would have been possible without you guys. So really appreciate your support. Really appreciate you supporting and responding to my content. It really means a lot. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, so we're back at it. I'm at 10,000, but we're just gonna keep going. Nothing stops this ship, right? So we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna go all the way to 100,000 by the end of the year. That's my goal. So we'll see what happens. But the only way I'm gonna do that is by keeping on providing all of you with good content, right? That's the whole point. The whole point is to be here and provide good content. So thank you so much to all of you for being here. So to all of you that are just joining us, we always start off with my global roll call, and that's where I invite you to let us know your city, state, province, country. Just let us know where you're from. Let's add to the community. Let's add to the fellowship. That way, it's also a good, easy way for you to participate. I don't want to have anybody feel like they need to be some amazing data scientist in order to participate here. Just let us know where you're from. It's okay to participate in small ways. And really just kind of add to the community, right? On top of that, sometimes I do like to start with an opening note. Other times I don't. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently. Today I want to go over a study that I ran. And I want to share it with all of you because I want you guys to see how I do studies. I want to share some of my thought process behind some of these things that I do. Because, I stress to you guys that data science is an applied science. I want you guys to go out and have your own portfolio, do your own work. I'm going to show you how I do it, how I follow my own advice. So we're going to go over that. I had intended to do that yesterday, but you guys were coming with such good questions in the chat that we didn't get to it. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and I want to see the introductions. I'm seeing some people in my chat already, and then we'll just go from there. So again, if you're just joining us, please let us know your city, state, country, province. That way I can kind of just, see where everybody's at. So let's start off from the very top here. Hi, I'm Gerline from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Very cool. We're getting more people from Canada. That's awesome. Hope you're doing well out there, Gerline. I've spent plenty of time in Manitoba, but never quite made it out to Ontario, so I hope you're doing well out there. Hi, I'm Hafiz from Pakistan. Very cool. Nice. Welcome. Quite a few viewers from Pakistan. I don't know how that is, but I get quite a few viewers from Pakistan and the Middle East in general. So welcome Hafiz. Silly Caddy, our good friend on Twitch. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a couple days. I'm glad you're back. I was telling people on last night's stream, I'm so encouraged by people who come back. I'm so encouraged. But, that lets me know I'm on the right track, lets me know I'm on the right track. So welcome back. I'm glad to see you, Silly Caddy. Yassine, our good friend Yassine. I couldn't have made it at 10,000 without good supporters like Yassine. Thank you so much. Hello, sir, Yassine from Tangier, Morocco. Welcome, Yassine. So glad to see you. Hope you're making it out to the beach out there in Tangier. They got beautiful beaches out there. I enjoyed walking along the street there with that's all beachside and everything. I can't remember the name of the street, but it's the main drag there. But beautiful in Tangier. Rex says, congratulations, Dennis. Thank you, Rex. Appreciate it. Appreciate supports by great moderators like you. Yeah, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. You know, like I told people yesterday, I thought if I got 500 followers in the first year, I thought it would be amazing, right? It's amazing. Silly Caddy, congrats on 10K. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a big moment. It's a big moment. But we're just going to keep on going. Got to keep on going, you know? This train doesn't stop, you know? I'm not going to stop until I get all these data science experts online off, right? I'm here to bust those myths, guys. Anise says, hello, Dennis. Congratulations on 10K. Yes, the ship is sailing. Let's go. Yes, that's exactly right. Good morning, Anise. Thanks for being here. Yeah, that's exactly right. Just keep going, you know, just keep sailing. You know, I posted this to one of my stories before on Instagram. You know, Jesse Itzler, you know, who I really find a lot of inspiration from. He posted that. He said, I didn't come this far to only come this far, right? We should all have that mindset, right? Just keep going. Keep at 100,000. I'm going to want to go to 1 million, right? Just, I didn't come this far only to come this far. So let's just keep going. Rex says, good morning from NYC. Hope you're all having a good day. Rex, I'm sure you're having a good day out there. It's got to be beautiful right now in New York City. So I'm not sure if it's quite jacket weather yet out there, but I bought a new jacket yesterday. I posted that to my stories yesterday, but I bought a new jacket in anticipation of the cold out here. But yeah, Rex, I hope you're doing well out there. Dominic, please let us know where you're from. We always ask people to introduce themselves, please. Naveed Khan. Naveed, I think this is your first time. Welcome. If it's your first time, welcome. ComSats graduate and currently in Lahore. Nice. ComSats. What is that? Is that a university or is that a type of degree? Let us know, Naveed. I'm not sure what ComSats is. Let us know. Hey, yeah, Dominic, let us know where you're from, okay? Fatima, another good friend from Morocco. How are you, Fatima? Nice to see you back. How are you? Fatima, you were a recent first-time viewer. Now you keep on coming back. That's awesome. I love that. I love seeing the return people. So welcome back, Fatima. I hope you're doing well out there in Meekness. Prashant, hi, I'm Prashant from St. Louis, Missouri. Nice, very cool, Prashant. Welcome. What do you do out there in St. Louis? Is that like, are you a student out there? Or? You know, I just passed through St. Louis for my first time ever back in March. I drove across the country in March. I'd never been through St. Louis, but I finally got to drive by and I got to see the big arch and all that. So that was pretty cool. All right, Dominic says, Dominic George from Mangalore, India. Mangalore, India. I've never heard of that. I've heard of Bangalore, but not Mangalore. Very cool. Thank you, Dominic. Welcome. I think it's your first time, so welcome. Silly Caddy says, oh my god, I'm so glad you remember me. So here's the thing, guys. I ask you guys to introduce yourselves because it adds to the professionalism of the chat, right? I like to keep my chat at a professional level. It's good for you guys to practice how you carry yourselves, how you introduce yourselves. Very important when you're in a data science job, right? But also, you know, I'm an old man, but I still got a couple things that work up here. I remember things, you know, so, you know, it helps me to read it. It helps me to hear it. You know, there's methods to my madness, guys. I don't ask people to do things without a reason, okay? I just may not tell you all those reasons. But of course I remember you, Silly Caddy. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Joseph, our good friend Joseph says, morning, Dennis. Congrats on getting the 10K again. Yeah, Joseph, thanks for being there last night. Yeah, huge moment to get to 10K. Almost incredible. Almost can't believe it, really. You know what was crazy, guys? Is I started the stream when I had like 99 and 20 people. You know, because I thought, okay, maybe let me start up the stream. Because, you know, you never know when you're going to hit it, right? And I thought, okay, I'm kind of but I had started watching it earlier in the evening when I crossed 9,800, just to kind of see what the pacing was, you know? And I was looking and I was like, okay, yeah, this looks like it might happen tonight. Let me start up the stream. So we started at around 99.20, something like that, 99.30. And it only took an hour and a half. Like I thought it was, I was prepared to be like a 5-hour stream because you never know if it's going to slow down or speed up, right? And I just said, okay, we'll see how long we're going to be here. And it only took an hour and a half. That was crazy. That was super crazy. Speaking of great supporters, Manoj, how are you? Hi, sir. Manoj from Bangalore, India. Congratulations on 10K. Thank you so much, Manoj. And thank you, too, for being there yesterday. So, Manoj, now you've seen me. For you, you saw me yesterday morning. No, yesterday evening. Yesterday morning when you woke up. And now again today in the evening. That's how crazy the time zones are between where I am and India is. Where Manoj, now you're watching me for the third time in a day and a half, I guess it would be. Or no, I guess in a day, right? It's the third time you're watching me in a single day because of the time zones and all that, right? Because I know you said you had just woken up last night when you were watching me. So that's crazy, man. But thanks so much, Manoj. Really appreciate you, man. Rex says it's awesome in New York, not jacket weather quite yet. Okay, but it's coming, right? It's coming. You know, New York, it's cold quick, right? All of a sudden you wake up and it's like 20 degrees out. But thanks for being here, Rex. Sarath, our good friend Sarath. Nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a couple days. Hey, Dennis. Woohoo on 10K. Yeah, woohoo indeed, sir. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kind of surreal. Really surreal, actually. But we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep going. I won't stop until we get rid of all these experts online. Speaking of which, guys, I got another great video coming out tomorrow. Every Friday, I'm releasing something from my de-influencing data science series. I got another great video coming out tomorrow. I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to release, guys. You know, I get these spurts of energy where I work and I produce these videos, but then I don't know what order I want to release them because I get so excited. It's like, oh, that's a really good video. Oh, but that one was even better. Oh, but this topic's going to be great. So, you know, sometimes it's a game time decision, right? You know, like the coaches, you know, like at the last minute, they swap things out. So I'm going to decide tonight which video I'm going to release tomorrow, but it's continuing my de-influencing series. And I'm just out there busting myths, guys. You know, I can't tell you how driven I am by how much poor information I see out there by these experts. So I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on giving you guys good content. I hate that these people prey on good people like you, on good students like you. You know, they sell you this junk. So I'm going to just keep going, guys. I'm going to keep going. Daraj says, hi, I'm Daraj from Mumbai, India. Welcome, Daraj. Good to see you. Good to see you. Gamudisa, our good friend Gamudisa, how are you? Thanks so much for coming last night. I know you were there both on Instagram and YouTube last night. Thank you so much. Hi, Dennis. How are you doing today? I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing really well. You know, it's a little surreal crossing over 10,000. You know, it's a big number, But overall excited, and you know, just really grateful for great supporters like you and everybody else in the chat. So thanks so much. Thanks so much. But yeah, so again, if you're joining us, you know, maybe you're still a little shy, you're sitting on the sidelines, that's okay. No one's gonna call on you. But just let us know where you're from. Let us know your city, state, country, province, you know. Just simple way to introduce yourself to be part of the community. It's up to you. Yeah, Manoj says, yes, sir. Yesterday night was this morning, and now it's 8:30 p.m. That's awesome, man. Such a loyal supporter. I love that, man. Thank you so much, Manoj. Rahul, our good friend Rahul. How are you, my friend? Rahul, hi there, celebrity. I don't know if I'm a celebrity. Definitely not a celebrity. I'm just doing my best, man. Just doing my best to try to get good information out there for you guys, you know? I'm just passionate about this stuff. Sravan, I think you were there last night, weren't you? I appreciate you, my friend. Morning, Dennis. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. You know, the bigger congrats is going to come at 100K, guys. And I'm going to get to 100K by the end of the year. I can feel it. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so anybody else that wants to introduce themselves, please let me know. But it looks like we do have a couple of questions. Rohan, our good friend Rohan. Good morning, Dennis. Rohan from Vizag, India. Excuse me. Yeah, welcome, Rohan. Good to see you, my friend. You're a little late today. Rahul says, yeah, I can feel it too. Yeah, I can feel it, man. I'm gonna get to 100K. I'm gonna have one of those silver play buttons. Yeah, and for 100K, I will get those gold balloons, just so I can post those stupid pictures online. That's funny. So Saran says, I was there and one among the likes too, waiting for 100K. Then it's gonna come. It's gonna come, my friend. I feel like I'm just gonna keep on doing the same things. Gonna keep on producing good content as much as I can. You know, hopefully stay in good health, stay with a positive mindset, right? And keep going. Yeah. Rohan says, congratulations for 10K. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate your support. Couldn't have been done without good supporters like you. Sarah says, I recommended your video for a resume review. We're going to connect this coming weekend to refine resumes. Nice. Very cool, Sarah. Nice to hear that. Have those people, really important, guys, have those people around you that are going to tell you, hey, you know, your resume needs work, right? Have people that are honest with you, right? And tell them. I tell them, right? I say, hey, look, you know, this is my resume. I'm going to be spending a lot of time with it in the future. I'm going to be sending this out like crazy. So you're saving me a lot of time if you're being, the more honest you are with me, the more time you save me. So please don't sugarcoat things. Please tell me what you really think, because by being honest, you're going to help me save a lot of time and have a better resume. You know, tell people that. And that way they're going to, you know, give you better feedback. Yeah. All right, so it looks like we have a couple of questions. Thorfinn, introduce yourself, please. Let us know where you're from. So Dominic George asks, what is the future of data science and its jobs? So Dominic, I released a video on this 2 weeks ago. If you look at my De-influencing data science series, I have a video exactly on this topic. Actually, no, it was last week. It was about the role of AI in jobs, right? The jobs are still going to be there, but they're going to require you to have a lot more experience with AI tools. Period. That's coming. That is inevitable. That's going to happen. And that's going to happen for data science, data engineering, all data jobs, software engineering jobs. So don't fall for the people that are online saying, oh, no, AI can't replace me. No, it will replace you. It's going to happen, you know, you're going to wake up tomorrow and be replaced. It's going to happen quick. Right? So you got to start preparing now. So yeah, so that's the bottom line. Data science will be alive, but you'll be expected to use more AI tools and you'll be expected to work at a faster pace because the coding side of all these tasks will be trivial. The coding side will not be a factor anymore. Okay? But that's what you got to be prepared for. But again, I encourage you to go to my YouTube video. I have a video on this very topic, but don't listen to the dinosaurs out there that are telling you, oh, no, I won't be replaced by AI. Software engineering is too No. It's going to happen. And I say next 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years would not surprise me. It's going to happen quick. Okay. So I hope that answers that. Silly Caddy asked, Dennis, do you know anything about Nextwork, AWS stuff? You know what? No, I don't. I really don't. I'm not, I wouldn't put myself out there as an AWS guy. It's just never come across my needs, you know, as far as like my core competencies. You know, that doesn't mean I'm ignorant. I mean, I have looked at some of the AWS stuff, and I think AWS is making a strategic mistake. The way it's broken out all its tools, and it's, you know, it's given it like all these hip names, you know, like SageMaker, right? But you wouldn't know that SageMaker is like their machine learning tool, right? Like it's too fractured, right? So no, silly Caddy. I'm always honest with you guys. If I can't help you with something, I tell you that. I don't fake it. So no, I'm not an AWS expert. But I know enough where I'm kind of like cautious with it, right? Like why do I need to put together these 10 different like edgy sounding tools just to deploy one machine learning model, right? Because that's what you need to do, right? You need to do their database, and then you need to bring in their identity management, and then you need to use their SageMaker tool. Just, I don't know, it's a little bit of a turnoff. But that's all I know, silly catty. And so I don't want to tell you beyond that because I don't want to mislead you. Rohan asks, which one did you use more in your work? Is it supervised learning or unsupervised learning? Rohan, that's not always a great question because it's situation dependent. Like my answer doesn't matter, right? Because that answer is just a reflection of the industries or the data or the individual projects I've worked on, right? Like it just is what it is, you know? Like you know, I mean, what you're asking is like saying, is it going to snow this winter? Like, yeah, it's going to snow, but I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure like it's going to happen, right? Like it just is what it is, you know, right? Like, you know, I mean, I could tell you that it's supervised learning, but somebody else who worked in another industry or another group, or maybe even within my same company, but just another division would tell you, oh no, it's unsupervised learning. Just because that's what they do, right? So there really is no like right or wrong or benefit to that, you know? Silly Catty says, do you have any recommendations to learn about Gen AI or anything to upgrade our skills? Any resources? Silly Catty, are you talking about on the end user side, like prompts? Or are you talking about developing more Gen AI tools? Let me know. Let me know exactly what you mean by that, okay? Rex says, besides data science knowledge, what other factors do you think are important as a data science colleague, coworker? A lot. You got to be able to know how to write well, right? To explain your work. You got to be able to interpret people's data into data science problems. And then third thing I would say in importance is you gotta be able to distinguish between a data science problem and a non-data science problem. That's gonna save you a lot of time because a lot of people are gonna approach you and they're not gonna be data science problems. But you gotta be smart enough to know the differences because they don't know the difference, right? So that's what I would tell you, Rex. Be able to write well, be able to distinguish data science problems. And what was the second one I gave you guys? I forgot the second one. Guys, I'm turning into an old man. Oh my gosh. But those are the three things I would tell you, okay? Okay, so Silly Catty says on the development side. So on the development side, Silly Catty, you know, I'm going to find a way to put this on the Discord. I think you're a member on the Discord, if I remember right. OpenAI put out a development guide on how to fine-tune your own LLM. And they did it with the Tokyo 2020 Olympics or 2021 Olympics. And they walk you step by step on how to like get the data from Wikipedia, how to format the data, how to fine-tune the model, how to test the model. It's one of the best tutorials I've seen out there. Now, obviously, it uses the OpenAI, you know, tools, but you could do a lot worse than using OpenAI. And I think the skills carry over, right? So that's where I would recommend you start and then build on that because it's not going to prepare you 100%, but it's going to give you like the foundation for what you need. Okay, so I would start there, Silly Catty. If in case I forget, I usually try to remember, but in case I forget, remind me on Discord later and I'll post it to Discord. Okay. Yeah, Silly Catty says yes, I'll remember your Discord. Okay, cool. I'll post it in Discord later today, and if I forget, you know, ping me on Discord and I'll do it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, look, it wasn't my intention to take questions today. My real intention today was to go over this study because, again, I tell you guys, go out there, do data science, apply data science. Well, I'm going to show you how I do it, okay? So I'm going to switch to my classroom view, and I'm going to bring up my study. So this is what I did. This is a study that I ran. Like I literally paid to do this. I went out and I did my own study, right? And I always tell you guys that one of the best places to start for studies, because I know a lot of you ask me for ideas, right? A lot of you approach me, oh, I want a project idea. I want a project idea. And I don't do that because, that to me, that's showing a lack in creativity, right? So this is me. And I was thinking one day, well, I shouldn't say one day. I've always been fascinated by how the public is going to receive AI and machine learning in general, right? Not everything's going to be positive, right? All these companies out there, the Elon Musks of the world, those psychopaths of the world, they just think that the public's going to love them and, everything that they are doing is for the greater good. But maybe it's not, right? So that's kind of my underlying thesis, right? My underlying thesis is there, or I think there's a potential for there to be some sort of public negativity towards AI. So let's find out, right? What's the best way to do that? Well, I got to survey people, right? I got to talk to the public, right? So that's my study, right? That's the underlying thesis for my study. So again, remember, I tell you guys, questions lead to usually make a pretty good basis for hypotheses, right? So that's my question, right? How is the public going to receive AI tools, right? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? I don't know. That's a study, right? That's my idea for a study. That's my underlying thesis, right? So that's why I did this, right? So that was like the genesis of why I did this. All right, so next page here. So, just like any professional study, right? You always start off with a welcome message, right? From me, the founder and CEO. And I basically, invite people to call me and also send me questions if they want to do more research on this or if they have other questions, right? Because, this study is also a marketing tool for my business and my corporate consulting. So that's my welcome message here. And then any good study always contains an executive summary, right? And I do this because I know, I've worked with a lot of these managing directors and directors. They have very little time. They'll go straight to the executive summary and they'll just, quickly read and move on, right? So that's what I'm providing here. And I'm providing my top 3 findings. By the way, I want to acknowledge the chat real quickly. Van Beach says congratulations on 10K. Thank you so much, Van Beach. Really appreciate your support. ABD, I think this is your first time here from Shenzhen, China. Nice, welcome. And glad you're joining us. All right, so this is my executive summary, right? Every study you guys should do, you should try to aim to have an executive summary, or in a white paper, it's often referred to as an abstract, right? But I think this is the kind of things that you should also, think about including in your studies. You also should include a methodology, right? And that's what I've done here, right? And I basically went out and I found survey respondents. That's something that I paid for, right? There's services out there where you can pay for that. So I ran my own study. So in a methodology, you want to kind of give like the scope and parameters of your study, right? So I'm giving the time frame, I'm giving the location, I'm giving the demographics, including balancing for demographics. And I also asked a qualifying question in order to make sure that people were at least somewhat familiar with AI tools, right? I didn't want responses from somebody who had never used any AI tools whatsoever, right? But you got to lay that out in the methodology. You got to let people know what you were doing, right? And then that results in my first statistics here, where I can say it was run in May of 2024. This was my male-female breakdown, and this is the number of qualified respondents that passed my qualifying question. All right? And by the way, if you guys have questions on this, feel free to put them in the chat, okay? Oliver says, hello, everyone. I'm Oliver from California in the U.S. Welcome, Oliver. Nice to see you. I think it's your first time, so welcome. Casual Economist, our good friend. Good morning. How are you? I think you were there last night, so thanks so much for coming back. Rupak, I haven't seen you in a while, Rupak. How are you? Hello, I'm Andrew from London, UK. You've been gone a few weeks. How are you? Good to see you back. All right, so let's keep going here on the study. So I broke it out into sections, and my first section is on the usage of AI tools. And here is basically where I'm including what I asked and what they replied. So 62% of my respondents used AI tools in the past year, and 38% had not. So that's like my first, significant finding, right? Because to the AI industry, that 38% should represent an opportunity, right? That means there's still an untapped audience out there. Next, I talk about the fairness. And here, I'm basically posting the question and then posting people's reply. For those of you that don't know statistics or haven't taken like a study course, not a study, a research course, what you see over here is known as a Likert scale, where people rate like their experience, right? So that's what's known as a Likert scale. So that's what I used across the survey. And then I'm just using the donut charts to illustrate the replies for each one of the questions. And by the way, if you have, if you guys want to make any comments on the actual responses themselves, let me know. I think I have a couple of surprising responses, but others, are just kind of, interesting, right? But here, the point of presenting it this way is to really just kind of present the result, right? I'm not trying to make judgments on it, because then that's me introducing my bias. I'm just trying to present what the data shows, right, from all of my respondents. Here, I talk about the trust in AI tools. And you can see that there's actually a pretty high level of trust, right? What is this? 55% of my respondents said they either always or usually trust the answers they receive from AI tools. That's not a small number, right? From there, I go into jobs and AI tools. So, somebody asked about, AI tools and data science. Here, I'm talking about jobs across the board. 28% of people think that they will never be replaced, which is potentially true depending on what industries they work in. But a pretty good number here think it's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years, right? 26 plus 16, what is that, 42%? 42% of people out there fear that AI will replace them in the next year. Excuse me, next year or next 2 to 3 years, right? Because it's 2 categories there. That's a lot, guys. Another 14% think it'll happen in 4 to 8 years, right? So that's a lot. And then here, I talk about how people feel about actually using AI tools. Because you know how you call into your bank or, some sort of customer service thing? It's never a live person anymore, right? It's always the dial tones and, and stuff like that, right? Well, if people don't like the dial tones, are they going to like AI even more? Right? That was one of my questions, right? That's what I'm asking, right? Again, I'm just coming up with questions, and then that usually makes for a good study, right? So here, people are saying that they would have a high comfort level in using these AI tools for customer service, right? 37 plus 38 definitely would or probably would feel comfortable with that. That's a pretty high number, right? That's not insignificant. I mean, what is it? That's 75%, right? But you can see the changes when it's a financial issue. On a financial issue, it becomes a little less, right? Combined in the top two categories, it's only 60%. And then when you come down for medical issues, it drops even more to 58% for the top two categories. But again, all of this is based on me thinking, you know, well, maybe some people out there aren't going to like AI tools, right? You know, like you can't just ignore those people. You can't just always assume that AI is a positive thing for everybody, right? So again, this is all me just building on my underlying thesis, right? Like, why am I doing this study? What am I curious about? These are the same things I tell you guys. And again, nobody's paying me for this. I funded this study out of my own money. You know, I paid for the respondents and all that, right? But this is me just sharpening my own skills, my own research, my own knowledge. How do you construct a study? How long do you run it for? How do you interpret the analytics? Right? But that's just me working on my craft. So that's why I tell you guys to do the same thing. Work on your craft. Work on your skill. You don't have to do it to this degree, you know, but put in your work. Put in your own effort. Okay. All right. What about costs? People don't usually like paying for tools, right? So 34% of people think that all AI chatbots should be free. No costs whatsoever. Another 19% aren't going to pay more than $5 per month. So very, very low cost access to tools. Are the Elon Musks of the world willing to do that? Probably not, right? OpenAI costs $20. Claude costs $20 also, I think. Right? But this is what the public thinks, right? The public thinks they should be free. What do you guys think about this? Give me some feedback in the chat. How much would you be willing to pay? Because this here says that the majority of you wouldn't be willing to pay anything more than $5 a month, right? So I'm assuming, well, you know, maybe all of you in the chat are a little bit skewed because you have an inherent interest in these tools. Maybe you'd be willing to pay more. But yeah, you know, what do you guys think? Let me know. Send me some feedback. Vasant, welcome. I am Vasant from India. Welcome, Vasant. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Rahul says, I am with the 32%. On which chart, Rahul? Are you talking about the price? Okay, not paying. Okay, it's 34% for not paying. Okay, so Rahul is not paying. Who else is not paying? Let me know if you're also in that 34%. Because some people think AI tools should be free, right? I mean, hey, the company's got the information free by scraping for it, right? So why should they charge? Right? So what do you guys think? Silly Catty says, oh my god, the AI help desk is so annoying. They repeat the same fulfillment statement again and again and ask you to repeat the whole thing if they don't have a solution. They're like, I'm not human agent, but I'm trying my best to understand. Like I'm chatting with you for an hour. Absolutely. I hate those things too. I'm with you, Caddy. I really, really don't like. I don't even like the touchstones. I'm just pressing 0 all the time to get to a human. I hear you, Caddy. I am not good with those either. So yeah, I mean, it's not all going to be positive, guys. Just because you like ChatGPT doesn't mean everyone will like ChatGPT. Right? Just because you build a great AI tool for your company doesn't mean everybody in your company is going to love it. Right? So again, this is all It's all predicated on that, right? This is why my study exists, because I think, hey, I think there's going to be there's a negative tipping point somewhere where people are going to say, no, 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 that's too much. And you're seeing that here, right? People might talk to customer service, but they're not going to talk a medical issue with ChatGPT, right? There's going to be lines there. And you would never know that unless you run the studies, right? Basan says, I'm doing good. Okay, cool. Welcome. Welcome, Basan. I'm glad to have you here. Yassine says, for me, it depends on the return I'm getting from using it. Okay, I hear you on that, Yassine, but how do you measure that? How do you measure that? And how often are you going to be using it? Right? Like people can get people can measure a return from Netflix because it's part of their entertainment, right? You can kind of measure that, right? But how are you going to measure the benefit you get from an AI tool? Kinda, sorta, maybe can't, right? Like, how are you going to do that? So I hear you, Yassine, but I don't know if it's always going to do that, So let me know if you have ideas for that, Yassine. Like, how would you measure that? Like as a practical question, I'm curious. Like, how would you measure, yeah, this tool is worth my $20 a month? I don't know. Rahul says, unless Terminator is coming. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show by HBO, Silicon Valley. But that's a great show, and I think they do a really good job of imitating a lot what I've seen in software engineering and in data science. And they have this great series of episodes where they talk about AI and like the future of androids and smart AI. And one of the guys is resistant to AI, but he ends up embracing it because apparently there's like a theory out there, right, that in the future, AI will know who didn't believe in AI, like who were their enemies in the past, and that future AI will come and kill you. So the guy talks about how he needs a written note from his manager so that he can show it to his future android overlords to say, no, I was an ally of AI, right? So future AI will know that whether you were an ally now or not, right? So in other words, they're coming for me, right? Because here I'm saying, well, maybe not AI is going to be good. So guys, if somebody kills me in the future, AI did it, okay? Start looking at AI. Yeah, Rahul says, I support AI. See, Rahul's doing the smart thing. Everybody in the chat right now should be saying, I love AI, because that will be your proof, right? You will have this document that AI can come back and read to and say, oh, okay, yeah, Rahul was an ally. Rahul said that he loved AI. Well, he's safe. He can live. We're not killing Rahul today. Rex says Skynet is coming. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it already exists, Rex. We just don't know about it. Those weirdos at the NSA, you never know, right? Yassine says, for example, the time I saved from using a tool versus doing things from scratch. Yeah, okay. But are you going to be doing that on a continual basis? Like, is that worth a subscription, Yassine? Right? Like, I don't know, like maybe? Basan says tokens. Okay, like Basan, I'm taking that to mean that you're talking like a like a pay as you go model, right? Where you buy a certain number of tokens for usage and then you can use it or you can come back. Like it wouldn't be a subscription. It's just pay as you go. Okay, maybe that would help. Yep. Yeah, so good answers here, guys. But again, the greater point, the meta point I'm trying to get to you guys is that this is the type of stuff that I do. So when I encourage you guys to do your own work, sharpen your skills, work on your own craft, have something to show for interviews, this is the kind of stuff that I'm referring to, okay? All right. I am fascinated by full self-driving vehicles. I have been highly skeptical of full self-driving vehicles since about 2017. So I had to include that in the study. Why? Because it's my study. I'm doing this. It's mine. I can do whatever I want with it, right? So I'm including it. I'm fascinated by this. It's a question that I have, right? Again, questions usually lead to good studies, good hypotheses, right? So this is me following my own advice, guys. All right. It's a 50-50 split right now between people who have and have not been in an FSD car. Quite a few people either feel comfortable or they think they would feel comfortable in a self-driving car. I am not part of that. I am part of the 11%, but that's not what the study shows. I have to accept that. 11% is my own personal bias, but I have to report what the study showed, right? %40 of people believe that FSD will cause less accidents than what happens now. 33% think it'll be more accidents, right? Because that's really the threat, right? That what happens when FSD vehicles cause more fatalities? It's going to be terrible, right? I mean, could you imagine losing your grandmother to a self-driving car? That'd be terrible, right? And then what about the AI industry, right? How do people feel about the industry in general? Do people think that companies are acting in an ethical manner, right? Most say yes. What is that? 50% say yes. Now this was interesting. 67% of people think that there should be more regulation of AI companies. More regulation. That's a lot of people wanting more regulation. And I tend to agree with that side of it. And then what about your data, right? The way AI companies want to use your personal data is an increasing concern, right? So people really don't trust them with their data, right? 23% are neutral about it. And what is that? 36% disagree or strongly disagree. So lots to think about there, right? Silly Caddy says, I mean, we can pay a little, like you need to pay the time someone took to develop and make our lives easy. But also, like, Google was like ChatGPT in its time, and they never made us pay them like ever. Yeah, but that doesn't mean Google doesn't make money, though, right? I mean, they comb your email, right? So it doesn't cost you out of pocket, but it costs you, right? So I hear you, Silly Caddy, but at the same time, it kind of pushes the companies to be even more sleazy, right? It's kind of like a double-edged sword that way. But I realize that what I'm saying is a lot of my own personal bias, right? I recognize that. Some people are comfortable with that trade-off. But, Google isn't exactly a benevolent company, right? Let's make sure we get that clear. Rahul says humans are more prone to error, I guess. They can be, but humans also do a lot of good things for driving, though, right? Because it's no secret that there are some flaws in FSD vehicles. And most of those flaws are because they can't react to things that humans can easily react to, right? So I'm not always sold on that argument that humans are more prone to accidents, because there's a lot of things that humans do well in driving, right? So something to think about there, right? All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, so this is a good one, guys. Give me your reply in the chat here, okay? Because you know, silly caddy, this kind of comes back to your earlier statement, right? Is Google willing to open source Gmail? So in this slide, I ask, okay, one of the most ethical ways for a company to show that they're ethical is to have open source, right? Hey, here's what we do. Here's where your data goes. Here's how your data is handled. Here's our entire code base, right? So does the public think that AI companies should do that? And look at these numbers. What is that? 75% either agree or strongly agree that they should have their code open for review. What do you guys think about that? Which one of you wants to write a tweet to Elon Musk and say, hey, I want to see OpenAI's code? Which one of you wants to volunteer to do that? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Give me some feedback here. Should AI companies have their code open for review? What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm gonna give you guys a minute here to think about it while I drink more water. All right, Rahul says yes. Any other opinions out there? What do you guys think? Anise says sure, as it can promote transparency and trust. Okay. Yassine, yes, at least in the parts where it shows the data is used. Okay. Anybody else? Or you can just choose to agree with somebody, right? You can just say, hey, yeah, I agree with Yassine. I agree with Anise. Silly Caddy says, of course, Google isn't a saint, but as ChatGPT uses our data to train their best system better. Like I heard my people use ChatGPT as a therapist and told it about their problems at home, personal stuff, and it's a fact ChatGPT uses the same personal data to create our answers for anyone asks you these questions or make any personal horror psychology or storyline. Yeah, sure. I agree with that, Silly Caddy. All right. So it looks like, yeah, most of you are following what the survey respondents also wanted, right? But how realistic is that, right? Like, these companies are still for-profit entities, right? So the reality of them doing that is probably not very high. Right? But again, these are questions that I have. And that's what's driving what I'm including in the study, because I'm curious about these things. Right? So again, I love the feedback you guys are giving me, and you know, and please think about the questions I'm posing here. But also understand that I'm trying to give you guys that meta view of this is what I mean when I'm telling you to be creative, to come up with your own questions, to keep up with the industry trends, keep up with the companies, keep up with the things that interest you. And then use that to develop your own projects, your own ideas, your own portfolios, right? And then, yeah, and then that's it. That was my last question. But yeah, guys, so, thanks for letting me share this study with you. It's something that I'm quite proud of, something that I think, is interesting, something that I really enjoy doing. And again, it's really all about coming up with your own questions and doing it. Go out there and do things, right? Use your skills. And that's ultimately what I'm encouraging you guys to do, right? Yeah, so maybe, Silly Caddy says, yeah, so maybe they shouldn't ask common people to pay since we are contributing to them in some way. Yeah, Silly Caddy, that might be the prevailing attitude, right? I mean, and you saw that, even on the high end, people are not willing to pay more than $5 a month, right? Which is like nothing, right? But yeah, maybe that's what's driving that feeling, right? Like, well, you're using my data and, I know that you guys are shady with other things and, and you're scraping the web. So yeah, I don't want to pay you. Yeah, maybe that is the underlying attitude, right? So guess what, Silly Caddy? You just came up with your own study, right? You could take that question and develop your own survey, or maybe your own article, like your own opinion piece, right? Or a position paper on that, right? Hey, I read this study by Data Science with Dennis, and that research showed X. Here's 4 reasons why I think the public would have that attitude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then you end that by saying, here's what I think would be a great follow-up questions to those same people that answered that they would pay and that they wouldn't pay, right? Because you'd have to get both of those groups to get a balanced study, right? But see, right there, just in what you said, you came up with your own study. You could totally write a position paper on that, right? Like, Dennis's study said X, and here's why I think people would say that, because of Y. And you're off and running. That could be your own study right there, right? So again, think about this, guys. Think about this at a meta level, right? It's all about, applying data science, applying your own curiosity. And again, nobody paid me for this. I've sent this out to a couple of people for feedback, but nobody's paying me for this. Nobody's, I funded this out of my own money, my own pocket paid for this. So get out there and apply data science. I'm not saying you have to do this, right? I'm not saying you have to spend a lot of money or anything like that, but apply your skills, apply what you've learned in your classes. If all of you are here, you're smart. You're smart people. So I think you guys are smart enough to do that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate everyone. Really appreciate everybody's support. It's been another great stream. I'm glad I got to share this study with you. And like I said, tomorrow, look out for my new video in my de-influencing data science series. I think it's going to be a good one. But really appreciate your support. We crossed 10,000 yesterday, and we're just going to keep going. I can't tell you how humbled I am by crossing 10,000. And just really appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for being here. And just take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll see you next time.